Hello, everybody. My name's Josh Collins. First off, I am going to say I represent ADT Home Security, and here's a number in the chat. I'm going to type in 855 751 3126 and a promo code 240008. ADT Home Security. It's in the comment section right now. Look it up. Call that number if you want to protect you and your family from home invasion and things related to that to keep your family safe and pass word on. That promo code will get you a $100 gift card and uh, message me on here if you have a home security system. You do have uh, uh, you do have the option. I will give you a gift on top of that $100 gift card. You just got to give me your name and name of your neighbors and friends that go and get a home security system to protect each of their families too. Okay, there's my commercial. Now, what am I going to talk about right now? If you notice the title, there's different ways I could have put it, but basically, how do you? I have a theory that I've thought through, and I think it would work if it's tried. And you may be the one to try it. Now, I am. How do you gain wealth? How do you become a multimillionaire? How do you become a how do you become a multimillionaire quickly? You know, now I've heard that you can have a 9 to 5 job all day, put money in some sort of retirement account, and keep on putting it every week. And by the time you turn 65, you'll have a couple $1 million or something. No, and even if all you did was wash dishes at a restaurant all the whole freaking time. I've heard that kind of thing, and that's fine. But I don't know if you want to spend 40 plus 45, 50 years trying to do that. Uh, I got things I want to do before I turn 65 that probably would take more money than a 9 to 5 job. So what do you do? What can you do? Now, if you and now one thing they've said, you gain a special skill that is in high demand. Well, go develop that skill and develop it. But for some of us, wouldn't it be better if we had another way? Now, some of you have put money back, and some of you do have some financial assets. I'm really speaking to you. I'm not really speaking to people that have absolutely no money. And I'm not speaking to people who have a special skill that they can market. Although anybody who has developed any amount of money that you've put back in some sort of way. It may not even have to be but very little money. Potentially, at least in theory, this might work. Now, I'm saying in theory. And you might be the first one to try this theory. Somebody's got to jump out. I have the idea now. Some of you that have the resources can apply the idea. Now, where did I get the idea? Back in the summer of 1998, I got this booklet in cassette tape, cassette tape, audio cassette tapes about that. They were about that big. Used to put them in a machine and listen to them. And I learned how to do what's called the auction chant. And I paid, I don't know, $50 to go to this, to get this booklet and this cassette tape and start learning how to do the auction chant and learn how to do, who are you going to give me 10, 10, 15, 15, 15, now 20, 20, 20, now 25, 25, now 30, 30, 30, 30, now 35, 35, now 40. I learned how to do that. And I went to auction school. Went through a 9-day class, learned about the auction business. And they had my auction chant honed at Nashville Auction School in Columbia, Tennessee in summer 98. Mr. Terry Evans was over the school, and he had a bunch of auctioneers come in every day, teach us something about the auction business in one way or the other, tell us about different auction businesses and all that. So that and being around auctions on and off throughout my life, it's been a pretty big part of my life. And later on, I inherited a piece of land and actually sold the auction. I used another auction firm to help me advertise or whatever. In fact, I would do it again if I had that piece of land. I may have sold it and put the only difference I would have done is I would have put a advertised pre-auction price. Now that's innovative in itself, and it may not even be recommended by anybody, but I would do it. I know what I got for it. I would have, and I even estimated something close to that, and I got something kind of close to that in the final pricing. But I would have advertised a much more favorable price in the pre-auction price. So, but why did I use the auction to sell that land that I inherited from my father? Well, real simple reason. I got to sell when I wanted to sell it. I didn't have to wait months and months and months for a real estate agent to finally get enough people interested in the property. Now I set the date and had the auction advertised and say, if you want it, you better be a bidder on this date. I and the auction company chose when to offer the property up for sale. Now that's the point I'm going to make in my thing is auction selling lets those that need to sell merchandise. Who needs to sell merchandise? Well, merchandise, that covers much of the economy and property of any type. So we're dealing with a lot of things that are in our lives and in other people's lives that people need and want and so forth. Now, when you combine auction selling all the way and bring it to its ultimate usefulness, its ultimate benefit, that would go much further than professional auctioneering service tends to do now. So you almost have to look at the auction selling as a component to wealth creation and wealth uh, multiplication or exponential accumulation of wealth. You have to look at it in a different way than even auction companies. Now, you may have to use an auction company, but you can get them to look at my video here and say, hey, look at what this guy's saying. I won't do it. Will you do it for me? The auction company is going to say, everybody's, you know how everybody's, opinion is like, somebody's backside. Everyone's got a part of one's backside. Everyone's got one. So, that's probably about what they'd say to you. But I'd fight them on it and say, Mr. Auctioneer, or a certain part of Colonel so-and-so. That's what auctioneers were used called. I want to become rich, Mr. Auctioneer, or Mr. Colonel Auctioneer. I need you to make me a multimillionaire. I got X amount of dollars in my retirement fund. My financial advisor ain't worth a dime. I need to become a multimillionaire in a year. Can you help me? Now, what's that auctioneer going to say? He said, what do you mean? He's going to say, if you got stuff to sell, I can sell it for you. But, what are you talking about? Here's the thing. All you have to do, since an auction, you can sell things when you want to sell them, and as frequently as you want to sell them. The only other thing you have to worry about is profitability. I go buy a bunch of stuff wherever, however, and I got to turn around and sell it at auction next week or the next day or whatever it is. Because I got 14 auctions scheduled so I can become rich. That's why you should look at this thing. If you want to hire an auctioneer, he needs a job ongoing. You got to tell him how to make his money. He's not going. What I'm saying is not professional auctioneering. It's just my concepts of auction selling applied to changing your whole economic outlook. Okay? That's all it is. All it is a complete, utter economic revolution for you, your family, and anybody who you care about. You want to get wealthy. You want to have money to do what you want when you want in your life. Listen to this video. I'm not getting paid anything off this video. And I am not a professional auctioneer in any sense of the word. I've just taken I'm not a professional auctioneer, even if I can go 50-50 now, so I can do 70, 80, $80 bin, $80 bin, 90, 100, 110 to 20. I am not a professional auctioneer, folks. But if you want to get wealthy, I'm saying you take whatever you already have, you turn it around, and you start buying stuff to be sold at auction with the intention of each auction getting a profit. And then keep on having auctions as frequently as possible. You go in the auction, you're going into the rapid selling business. You're using auction selling as a method to sell things really quickly when you want. You, the seller, you who have assets. Right now, they may be locked up in a bank account, but you can take that money and you can turn it around and go buy some merchandise some way as cheap as you can, wholesale or below, and then turn around, start having auctions. And each time you make with the idea of a profit. Other thing, I would use pre-auction price tagging. I'd set the price. You can do what you want. It's the principle of the thing. It's not the set amount, but just to give you a little shock and awe how far you could take this. If you spend you buy a bunch of merchandise from a closeout liquidation place that has pallets. You go buy that stuff and you spend $5,000 on it, or for 4, 5, 6, 7 pallets of stuff to have an auction. Okay, great, wonderful. Now what do? You figure out $5,000. The price tags you put on that, you can sell that stuff before the auction, before it even has a chance to be auctioned off. You put price tag maybe up to 5 times what it's worth, or even 10 times your cost. 10 times your cost, $50,000. You put price tag on each item, and it should add up to $50,000 if you add all the items. Now that's more to get people to look at the price, and where you can kind of control the audience that's showing up at your auctions and get them to go bid more like you want. So you can make a profit and keep on making a profit, where you can buy more and more stuff and more stuff, where you can have bigger and bigger auctions and more auctions until you make enough money to be a multimillionaire. So in a way, you might go into business for a month. Now, I got other ideas, but I'm just looking at the just pure individual, natural, normal individual. How do you become a multimillionaire in a year? Just what I said. Take whatever assets you go buy the stuff, hire an auctioneer, and tell them, "Hey, we're going to have pre-auction pricing that's significantly higher than what we pay for these items." They can sell, and when the auctioneer gets up, make sure the auctioneer says this. we got a remote here. I got remote control. We're going to sell at $10 to buy, not bid. At $10 buy, not bid. You can buy it for $10 right now. This remote right here. You see this remote now. $10 to buy, not bid. To buy, not bid. Buy, not bid. And the auctioneer would say, "Hey, this could sell for less if it goes to bid, but it could sell for more than $10. It could sell for a lot more than $10. I don't know what it's going to sell for, but you can buy it right now for $10. $10 for this, $10 for a remote now, $10 or $20, whatever the pre-auction price is. I don't know. What would that sell for? $30 pre-auction price. $30, $30 to buy and not bid, $30 to buy and not bid. Now, how much should we pay for it? We might pay $3 for the thing. That's what I'm saying. Control the pricing of the auction, but you're going to sell everything anyway. But you just say, hey, you want to buy it? Here's your price. There you go. Make sure it's a price much more favorable to you than the buyer, but tell the buyer, hey, we're going to sell everything out, whether you buy it this way or that way. We're going to sell it all. If you buy it this way, you won't have to worry about selling for the remote control selling for $40 or $50 or $60. The auctioneer can say that and say, well, hey, what we say ain't got nothing to do with appraisal values. Just go on about it. And keep on having auctions, even daily, even several times a day, and several rings of auctions. So that's how you can get rich off of. Usually people hire auctioneers to do one auction one time, sell a bunch of stuff, and that's it. Make an auctioneer happy. Put him in business for a year at a time. He probably needs it. And you need to get rich. And if you want to be generous, you can make consignment available. People to take their money to cooperate with your money. And you could do a deal like that. I'm not going to tell you how to do it, but I'm just showing you with auctions, you can sell when you want to sell. And if you can get a profit, if you can buy something and sell at auction as quick as you nearly can, you can get rich with whatever assets you already have. You don't have to wait to get rich. So that's why I'd use an auction house for an auctioneer for right now. Find you one in your area and become rich and do whatever you want with your money that you'll have in a year or so. You if you want to be generous, share this information and maybe cooperate with others on it, and you have even a lot bigger. So you could start a chain of auction houses. This may be an economic revolution I'm starting, so go ahead with it. Change your life, change everybody else's life. Quit. Fire your financial advisor, fire your stockbroker, and say bye-bye to your boss. Say, bye, boss. Within a year, you should definitely say bye to your boss if you go with everything I just told you. And these are ideas I've thought of, and you should go do it to do what you want to do with your money. Again, I do represent ADT Home Security. The ideas I convey are not necessarily endorsed by ADT or anything else I say in any of these videos that I do. Just simply go ahead and call 855-751-3126, promo code 240008, ADT Home Security. You get a $100 gift card with that promo code 240008. And I have it on my chat section or comment section. Yeah, there it is. So I thank you for taking your time and your energy to listen to what I had to say, and hope y'all have a blessed day. Bye.